All right, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon if you are watching, across the pond. I'm Big Boy Sports, and we are back with another interview. And my boy here, go ahead and explain yourself. Go ahead and tell us who you are, you know, to just kind of get the people introduced to you real quick.
For sure. Right now, currently, I'm an international football player. I play in Germany.
Hang
My
on.
name's Daniel. For sure. It's buffering just a bit. I think it's good now.
Yeah, it's good now.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Do you
introduce
want to
yourself again.
restart or
Just
should I?
yeah,
Sorry. All
yeah,
good.
yeah.
All
Just
good.
yeah, just introduce yourself again, man. Because I figured it would be me.
So I'm Daniel Nkunku Malimba, international professional athlete here in Germany. I played in a few other countries. I also played some arena football. Originally born in Florida, raised in Canada. So I played high school in Brampton for St. Rock Catholic Secondary School, college at Holland College. Played some semi-pro in Prince Edward Island and the Maritimes Football League. I also played semi-pro in the Alberta Football League for the Cold Lake Fighter Jets. And after that, I got an opportunity to go to Sweden and Brazil, both teams in 2024. And then in 2025, I got picked up in Germany, and I've stayed here ever since. I've been here for about a year. I also played some arena football just before I came to Germany in the GTIFL for Hit Squad.
Hmm. Kind of wanted to ask about first about the GCIFL. How was that experience? Playing in Canada because I've talked to Cody Baker last year, um, who owns the league and stuff like that. And he was a great guy. He was a great guy that
Sure.
definitely passionate, definitely
Yeah.
has you know things in order to where the league continues to grow and continue to have success. So I wanted to know how your experience was, back in 2025.
Yeah, as a rookie in that league, I know the league has been running for a few years. They kind of rebranded as well. When I originally joined the Hit Squad, I kind of wanted to stay fit, stay active. Even though I played 2 seasons prior, I just wanted to stay fit. I was a bit skeptical about playing arena football in general, especially with the walls and the fast pacedness. But overall, I think Hit Squad brought me in as family. That was the biggest thing. Shout out to them and everyone who's a part of that team, especially in that 2024 team. Shout out to Ice. Um, it was fun. I think the league in itself, still, even where it's at now, has a lot of potential. It was cool that they had so many teams, especially within Toronto. I mean, it is the only arena football league in Canada, but you found talent from around all of Ontario. So I think it was really, really cool, especially seeing some of the guys that played even on the teams I played for in like varsity back in high school. um, I think it was a really, really fun. I mean, winning, of course, is always fun. It's gonna be fun. We were a really successful team that year. And the biggest thing I think for with Hit Squad is they trusted me a lot. So I got to play some offense. I got to play some defense, different positions, running back, receiver, a little bit of safety, corner. Ended up being an all-star for the team. Runner up, I think, for rookie of the year, but I won team MVP. Um, overall, I think it was such a great experience that I got to get and made me look into arena football even more, especially in America and stuff like that. And I want to thank Cody, especially, and Pam as well, for putting me on board with the media team for GTIFL and doing that this year, even though it was in Germany. It was a bit difficult, but we got everything done. And I want to thank especially the athletes for showing so much love on the pages and the videos and stuff like that. It's definitely, like I said, big potential for the league.
Yeah, yeah, because you were like what, basically doing like play by play or like a sideline reporter or something like that this year?
Yeah, so I
Something along
did
those lines.
I did like live commentating for it, but I also did
Yeah.
some I did week on week player of the weeks for them. I did game recaps, and then towards the playoffs, especially the championship, I did some hype ups. So
Gotcha, gotcha. How's things been in Germany? I mean, you know, I heard it's a beautiful place. from, from
yeah,
my ex and everything, I heard it's a beautiful place. So,
for sure. I mean, I'm not in the big city. I live in Lone, more
ah,
specifically in the Oldenburg area. So it's a small town. I think the biggest thing, I guess, that's special to my experience is I've gotten to find a team that has such a family oriented mindset, and even though I got injured early last season, they still kept me on board. You know, you hear a lot of stories of athletes getting injured, sent back
mhm.
home straight. But they stuck with me the whole season. And even though I was injured, I still played throughout the season. Ended up getting surgery just in January, and I've gotten nothing but support from the team. Shout out to my coach Hano. He's and his wife. They've been absolute blessings. My number one supporters here helped me out. They even drove me. I think my coach drove me all the way to like an hour and a half to my surgeon, drove me there, and then picked me back up. And with our sponsorships with physio, I've been going there. You know, shout out to them as well. They've been helping me out a bunch, really giving me hope that I can come back on the field sooner than later. Not giving up that fire, and they're really, really pushing me when it comes to workouts, getting into different phases. Since it is a knee injury, it does take a bit of time, but they've
Oh
been
yeah, for sure.
really patient with me, and I've been really, really lucky in that regard. Onto uh, just a team aspect for the country, it's a beautiful place, as you said. Probably one of the most beautiful places I've been to so far. I've been able to travel throughout the EU, Hungary, the UK, Netherlands, and stuff like that. It's quite easier once you're in the EU. But it's a beautiful place. I think if anyone has the opportunity to come out here, I would highly, highly suggest it.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Because at some point, I'll do it at some point. But I mean, I got to get my funds up first.
For sure, for sure.
So I gotta get my funds up first before I start doing all that. So,
Yeah.
um, and you said stuff about Sweden as well, because you also played and lived in Sweden, right?
Yep. That was the first team I played for internationally.
How was that experience?
That experience was cool. Same as Lone, they had a big family-oriented mindset. Really close with all the coaches, and still to this day as well. Shout out to Tommy and his wife. It was kind of a quick call actually. I was like looking for teams for maybe a month, and then they ended up reaching out, and they're like, "Hey, like, can you come this weekend so you can play?" And I was like, "Shoot." Yeah, let's go. Packed up all my things, got over there. I played Sweden Division One. There is a higher division within Sweden, so it wasn't
Mm,
crazy, crazy competition, but the competition level was still there. Um, but had a successful season. I think I averaged over a turnover a game. Had a punt return touchdown. Played a bit of offense, a bit of special teams, and played mainly corner safety for that team. But for outside of the team itself, Sweden is another beautiful, beautiful place. I was in Karlskoga, so it's close to Obro, and both places, it was just amazing to be there. The people, culture, for me, North America versus EU culture is very, very, very different.
hmm.
And I appreciate it here, especially here in Germany. It's there's a big community, especially where I am at right now.
Gotcha, gotcha. There are a couple of European football leagues now. Um,
Yeah.
there was a split from the ELF, and now there's two. Kind of wanted your thoughts on that, a little bit.
For
I mean, I
sure.
don't know if you've been keeping up with it, but I mean,
Yeah, so I mean, one of my goals, especially for the future, is to try to get into one of those leagues. It is hard as an American import, as they can only hold so many. It's pretty much the same around all across Europe, but it's a good way
mhm,
to keep the league, like keep the league local. So not just fill a bunch of teams with a bunch of American talent. Feel like that would kind of water down um, what European athletes can offer, really. My opinion on the split, I think I've heard a lot of stories within the ELF, especially when it comes to finances, teams, and stuff of that sort. I think right now they're in the a good direction. In my opinion, if you asked me this before the season started, I would have given you a different answer. I didn't think they would be able to pull it off so quick, but now as it's going underway, I think they've finally established a strong structure, especially the teams that are involved. Like there were some teams that struggled with finances, especially when it comes to not being able to get that much return of interest. So when it came to getting fans out there, when it came to getting viewership, there wasn't that much, mainly because soccer is huge over here. There's other
mhm,
sports that are bigger than just American football,
mhm,
so it was really hard for teams to fill seats, really get any sort of finances from that aspect. But you do see teams like, for example, Nordic Storm. They're doing a great, great, great job. And the Nordic area, Sweden and Norway, they are not poorer countries. Let's just say that they're pretty rich countries. So they have a
mhm,
lot of backing, a lot of sponsorships. And that's how they continue their success. So I've seen a lot of teams now, follow that, or they just drop down to their respective league within their country. I think like Wroclaw Panthers are now in, I think the Polish league. I could
mm,
be wrong. Um, but different teams like that, you've seen it, they just drop out. I mean, even like Madrid Bravos, they had to drop out. I think it's the same situation, just finances. It's
yeah,
hard to really like have a huge, huge, huge international league and not have the backing, not have the sponsorships behind it. Especially when you have to travel, you have to go, country to country to country. It's
mhm,
definitely hard. But I think it's great. I think it's great for Europe, European football. It's a great opportunity, especially for, the local athletes that want to play up to like the highest level of European football. Um, and it is definitely one of the most competitive leagues in the world right now. I think they rank maybe fifth behind NFL, CFL, the X League in Japan. I think Mexico goes next, and then I think it's the ELF or slash
mm.
ALFE EFA.
Gotcha. And speaking of the CFL, real quick, because I know you said you were raised in Canada, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted your thoughts on those rule changes and stuff like that. Because
In
there's
specific,
been
what
some,
rule changes?
I believe there's actually quite a couple rule changes that are like trying to get the CFL more fit to American football, but at the same time, still kind of keep the Canadian traditions alive in a sense.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've
Hmm.
been keeping up with that, so
Sorry, you cut out there at the end.
oh my bad. Um, yeah, but what was my train of thought going? Yeah, so there's been some CFL rule changes and stuff like that that are kind of fitting more towards the American game in a way. Um, you know, I don't know if you looked it up or anything, or if you knew about it or anything like that. I don't even remember all the rule changes myself because it's been a while, so I don't know if you had
Hmm.
any thoughts on that.
There
So,
is a quite a few. I think the or maybe that was the NFL. See, I don't watch too much CFL myself, like
ah,
truthfully. So like I watch probably the most football I watch is probably in college.
ah,
Um, but I guess like looking at a few of these, I think they're just trying to fasten up the game. I know CFL like traditionally and in the past has been pretty like fairly slow. Not as fast as the NFL, of course, but I could definitely agree on like stuff like continuous play clock, final 3 minutes of the game, QB kneels, modified rouge. I think the rouge should always be in there. It's kind of a unique thing to the CFL. Um, but I think that's an elimination of ties. I think that's huge. That's definitely a huge one, especially going into playoffs and stuff like that. I think it's cool. I think it's something that I think all leagues should probably do. I mean, I think I've seen games that go to like, I don't know, 5 overtimes or something like that, and that is pretty strenuous. So I can understand that. But I think fastening up the game of the CFL is nothing but good.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, and you mentioned you watched a lot of college, like American college football.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, 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 okay. I guess I can segue into that. Do you have like a favorite team or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. I like a few years back, I used to be proud of this. Now it's kind of sad, but every time I say it, it's Florida State University
Ah, I mean, Florida State has all the resources and stuff like that. They can get back.
for sure.
Louisville's got them. They can get back.
For sure. It's been a hard few years, especially competing with teams like Miami, like just in Florida in general. It's really, really, really competitive out there. But FSU has had a pretty rough time as of recently, especially with injuries. It's been really, really bad. But I'm
Yeah,
hoping in the next like 2 to 3 years I can get back into the ranked conversation and playoffs as well. It's just a rebuild now that I see.
yeah. Are you a 12-team truther or a 24-team truther as far as like playoffs go? Because that's been kind of the big argument in the offseason right now, aside from like
Right.
NIL.
I think I think the 24 is cool. I think that's something I like to see, especially considering like you can have real big underdogs really like mess some high ranked college teams right off if they're sleeping. So I think I always like seeing underdog stories. So I think having a bigger playoff pool is, for me, I like it better. Um, 12, it shortens it a bit, but when you have 24, you have so many teams that could possibly make it, and I think it's more entertaining in that sense.
Gotcha, gotcha. Um, what kind of advice can you give some guys that may be trying to, maybe trying to prove themselves in like, so in like a place that where they're not, not a traditional, football lens where they go from high school to college to the NFL, but they're, somewhere else, or like in your case, you're across
Hmm.
the pond, or like some guys are kind of stuck in arena for a little bit, or even the UFL.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is like never stop trying. The worst thing you can do is just stop and think you won't make it, and then you never know what your potential is. The biggest thing you can do also is reach out to teams, go to tryouts, stuff like this. Internationally, if you want to make it internationally, I won't say it's easy. It is a pretty hard market to get into, a decently hard market to get into. But if you were wanting to do something like that, reach out to coaches. Like there is a website called europlayers.com where you can go on there, look for teams and stuff like that, contact teams and coaches and so forth. But my biggest recommendation is just go the extra mile. When you find a team and you see their coaches, follow them on Instagram, follow them on Facebook, any social media platform that you can find, and then introduce yourself. Don't just say, hey, my name is such and such. I'm looking for a team. Introduce who you are, what you bring to the team, why you want to go out there. It goes a long way when you have, a great character behind your great plays. So being able to show them that you'll be able to, move across the world just to play football and you're willing to do that and you'll be a good influence within their community and a role model for the team as well. I think it goes a long way for you and it goes a long way for the team. That's one of the big reasons why I've been able to stay here for a year. I just put my head down, not really put my head down in regards to like not talking to people and stuff like that. But I'm just, football, business. If anyone needs help, I always try to help out, especially coaching. We have junior teams that you can help out for as well, but always go that extra mile for teams, and especially when you're looking for teams to play, especially on the international level, always try to see what they're looking for. If they fit, then tell them why you fit as well. um but yeah, it's not, I wouldn't say it's easy, but I've been blessed to be able to play for a couple teams in 1 year, and then have this opportunity in Germany. um, and once you're into that market and they see that you can actually adapt to going overseas, and you can, it's, I would say one of the biggest things is like it's very easy to go, to a different country that you don't know anyone, you're pretty much alone in that sense. And you have to rebuild those relationships with others. It's really easy for you to kind of burn that opportunity and just say, this is not for me, compared to sticking through it, seeing how the community is, seeing how the team is, seeing how it works out, and then going to that next level and, continuing that path. I think the biggest thing for me is, especially coming to Germany, is I've had positive reviews from the previous teams that I played on. So it's reflected, when I come here to Germany, and so on and so forth.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, just till you put yourselves out there. I mean, that's like the biggest thing. I mean, shoot, that's the biggest thing I can say is just continue to put yourself out there. You know,
Especially if you don't have
Daniel,
like an
where can
agent.
people find you? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you
Definitely.
don't have an
Yeah.
agent, you got to market yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. You definitely got to mark yourself. If you don't have an agent. I mean, there's a lot of guys that
Yeah.
don't have agents. I know there's some companies that do have. There's some pretty good companies out there that are like agents and stuff like that. There's some pretty good companies, especially in arena ball what I cover. So,
Hmm.
um,
For sure.
Daniel, where can people find you at real quick? As far as like
For
social
sure.
media and stuff like that.
So my main social media platform is Instagram. It's just Daniel NKO. So it's my first name and then the first 6 letters of my last name.
Gotcha. He's got the
And
killer
like if you add me on,
profile.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a big anime guy. Big anime guy.
uh, do you have a favorite?
It might just be Hunter X Hunter, to be honest, because of the
Gotcha.
storyline. I've been watching a lot of others like Freerin, Demon Slayer, stuff like that. But Hunter X Hunter has a really, really, really good story. It's close to Naruto, but I think since Naruto was so long and Hunter X Hunter was shorter, I can appreciate how much they put into just those few episodes. Not few episodes, but a way shorter series than Naruto.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so main
and
platforms
yourself, do
IG
you watch
and
anything?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course. I'm on a Precure kick right now, so
Okay, I don't think I've heard that before.
yeah, it's been going for like 20 something years, so kind of
Yeah.
the sister series to Common Rider and Super Sentai. Well, Super Sentai's dead right now, so forgot about Project Red. So
Yeah.
but yeah, just IG or you got any others? Any other
Um,
socials?
Nothing that I'm like too active on. Like I'm not really active on TikTok. I'm active on Facebook, but it's more so for like business and like when I talk to coaches and talk to, my family and stuff like that. Um, Twitter I don't really use. Instagram's my main one.
Gotcha, gotcha. IG is the main one. IG. Uh, hope that Neat continues to recover. I've seen you do some workouts via reels and stuff like that. I'm hoping that Neat continues to recover and you get back out
Thank
there,
you.
man. Because
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, there's a lot of guys that are just dogs out there, just straight up beasting feasting. I think you might be one of those ones. I watch a, I watch a lot of football, so
Thank you.
in my
I
downtime.
appreciate
I
that, man.
watch a lot of football in my downtime, so when I can get downtime. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to see you go back out on the field, and if you work with the GTIFL in 2027, I'm excited to see you there, as well. Trying to continue my relationship with them, but I have to reach back out
for
to
sure.
them. Um, you got anything else you want to say before we get on up out of here?
No, I think that's good. I just hope everyone stays
Yeah,
blessed. Thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you for having me on.
no problem, no problem. Well, Daniel's got nothing else. I've got nothing else. We're both gonna skedaddle on up out of here, and I'm gonna get ready for my day. I'll see you guys. I'll see the rest of y'all later tonight. We have this weekend into football, obviously tonight. So once this goes up, it's gonna be a little bit of a doubleheader day. So um, but yeah, Daniel, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and we're out of here.
Thank you. Peace.